Okay, I clicked play right when I have to burp. Jeez, that was professional. We are on the last part, finally. This is finally the last part of Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. And I feel like throughout this whole thing, I've sounded like we hated the game. I like this game, but it kind of has been grating to me that we ended up playing this game at the same time as Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, because it was two games where it was one of the games in a series of games that I like, but I don't love that game, you know? Like, this is a game, the more I've been thinking about it... Oh yeah, Jill will be in this part, by the way, but I'm trying to save her from having to talk through the whole thing, because we did play it together and I'm commenting and post on this one. But this is a game, the more I look at it, that I think is objectively well made. You know, it's a good game. It takes such good advantage of, like, the hardware it was on with the MSX and all of these different things. Like, the fact that they did going prone, going underneath things, crawling around, all of that stuff in this game, it's impressive to me. However, this has got to be one of the most frustrating Metal Gear experiences I've had. Like, there were so many areas where I have no idea how you would proceed without looking it up, because it feels like parts of the game are designed to waste your time. Also, my cats are going crazy in the litter box. But hopefully you understand what I mean. Like, there are parts of this game entirely that feel like they were designed specifically to eat up time and extend the gameplay experience, which I know some of that comes with the game being older, but I also just feel like it was a lot. Like, it just got frustrating. But this is going to be the last part of it. I do still think it's a very good game, and I think that if I played it when it came out, it would have been mind-blowing. You know, but going back to it after newer Metal Gear games, I love the style, I love the music, I love the vibes of it, the way it looks, all of this stuff. I don't know if I'd really want to play through this game again for fun, you know? Whereas, like, every other Metal Gear game I've played, actually even Metal Gear 1, because it was so simple, but really the Solid series especially, Rising, stuff like that, I never really got the feeling of, I don't want to play this again, you know? So I don't know, it's weird. It's like, this is one of the few games I've played where I think it's good, but I didn't enjoy the game. You know, a lot of times when I don't enjoy a game, I feel like there are parts of it that I can just point to, like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, that led to me not liking it. And with this game, it's kind of like the opposite, where, like, I find myself pointing more to things that are good. I don't know. It's certainly been a weird experience, but I did want to talk to you all for a few minutes today about a couple things, and since it's just me at the beginning, I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions. One of them is, what is your favorite retro game? Now for me, I'm considering retro probably like anything. I mean, I know retro now can even mean Xbox 360 to people, but I'm talking like 2000 to 2005 or before probably. I mean, maybe even like before the year 2000, I think would make sense. You know, like we're talking PS1 or earlier. That's really, I guess for me, retro, but I suppose now even the PS2 is retro. But I wanted to know for you guys what your favorite retro game is, especially those of you who don't comment very often. I know that there's a subsection of people who really like watching this channel, but they don't talk a lot. I would actually love to hear that, because I plan to read these, and I do read the comments on this channel, so I'd find that interesting to hear from you. Some of mine are like Final Fantasy VII, and actually, no, I can't count 10 because that's PS2. I guess if we were doing PS2 era, that would count. But like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid 1, there's a lot of stuff like, you know, Game Boy Color. There were so many great games, things like Pokemon, Gold, Silver, Crystal, you know, all of those. Pretty similar to the same game, but I'd certainly count those. For me, I really grew up, though, with gaming. Well, actually, the Mega Man Legends series is one as well. I want to play that eventually on this channel, but a lot of the gaming I grew up doing was PS2 era. So things like, I don't know, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man games. You know, that was an example of, like, what I grew up with. But then I was also buying PS1 games at the time, because the PS2 could play both of them. And so it was something where PS1 games were still in the store when I got the PS2. Because my dad actually bought us the PS2. And I remember it was something where a lot of times, PS1 games were in store at the same time. And they would be cheaper because they were considered older. Like they were considered, outdated tech. But they still sold them. And I remember buying a lot of games that were for like the PS1 because of that. And getting things like Mega Man Legends, the more comic book based Spider-Man games. Also, we were in here because we had to freeze this key. If you've played MGS1, it's pretty much the same exact mechanic. You have to go in, transform the key into something else, using like heat or freezing or whatever, and then move on from there. So anyway, that's kind of what we've been doing here. And then I cut out like half of the backtracking. So it's going to seem like there's still a lot, but I cut out basically half of it. But yeah, like looking back, I'm going to have to talk louder because I'm behind me. Looking back, some of those things too, I even remember like classic Tomb Raider was big when I was a kid. Even though when I was starting to notice the series was more during the reboot era of Xbox 360, and I don't even mean the one where it's more Uncharted-like. I mean the reboot where it was, what was it, the Legend timeline? So you had Tomb Raider Legend, Anniversary, and shoot, I can't even remember the last one. Legend, Anniversary, and I don't think it was Angel of Darkness, but no, that was on PS2. Underworld. That's what it was. I remember really, getting into that series around that time, but that wasn't really retro, I guess. But the, PS1 era, that had been super popular before that. Anyways, so that's kind of why I want to know, what your favorite retro game is, because I think there's a lot of games out there that they can be good, and they might not be for you, or they might be one of your favorite games. But I really love going back and kind of looking at games from this era and seeing what they did with what they had access to. I mean, the fact that they can make games this competent and this good at this state, and that then later on they can develop all the way. I mean, the fact that, the same guy who helped make Metal Gear, Hideo Kojima, was heavily involved in MGS5. That's just crazy to me. You look at a game like this, and then you look at MGS5, and you see how far the technology came in just a few decades of one person's life, and how they were involved in that whole series. I don't know. It makes me wonder what things will be like in the future, because I don't know if you guys feel this way. Oh yeah, okay, by the way, I need to tell you this first. So these rats apparently have something like the bubonic plague, or the black plague, or whatever. And I don't know why they have it, but they do. And I didn't know this, but you have to do this dumb trick to lure them out of here so you can get that item using a ration. And I don't think you would ever figure this out. I don't think anyone would ever figure this out without talking to a friend on the playground, or talking to a coworker at work, or the internet or something. And it's crazy how few walkthroughs and stuff there are for this game, which goes to tell me that most people never beat this game, that they got stuck at some point. So you need to do all this crazy stuff and basically get back here after using that type of key from the brooch. Then you have to take this ration and you equip it. And I thought, okay, well, I'm in the room, they should smell it, right? These rats should be able to smell this ration. Well, they can't. I don't know why, but they can't. And so even though they basically tell you don't go in that room, they leave you enough room in this crawlway here where you can go right kind of in and then leave immediately before getting attacked. And then they smell it and they'll start following you. And so then you just kind of fire your gun into this over and over and over again. And then you just keep killing these bubonic plague type rat things, which I don't know why they're here or how they never got out. And then you're able to go in here and get this item, which is required to progress. So my cats are being crazy. There's nothing like wrong with it, but this part kind of irked me because I remember messing around with this for 15 minutes just not being able to figure it out. Anyway, I was gonna say that Dr. Manor, Snake, he'll never let you get away. He'll use it. He'll use Metal Gear. I have one last gift for my daughter, Ellen DeGeneres. I'll tell you how to destroy it. How to destroy Metal Gear? Try as I might, I could not reconcile East and West in my heart of hearts. But Ellen is different, Snake. You must do this for Ellen DeGeneres, the daughter I left behind. How do I destroy Metal Gear? The armor is thinnest on the legs. Use grenades on the legs. It is the only way. I'm old. And then he falls. I was going to say real quick that I feel like video games and movies are the opposite. You know, where movies, not to say that like no movie technology has gotten better, it has, but there's an over-reliance. Oh, here we go. Gray Fox. The final delusion of a senile old man. There's no way to destroy this Metal Gear, Snake. Fox, where are you? Come and find out, Snake. Go through the front door. Anyway, I was just going to say real quick, I feel like video games, you know, you can see how far they've progressed in some ways, and some of the classics are still some of the best games ever. I stand by that, limited tech or not. But then with movies, in so many ways, I feel like they've regressed technologically. Like, there's this over-reliance on computers, there's an over-reliance on CGI, there's an over-reliance on ChatGPT-like scripts, there's an under-reliance on camera work. You know, something clever like cinematography, where you look at a movie like Evil Dead from Sam Raimi and the experimental camera use, it's crazy. But then you look at movies now and most of them don't do that. And it's just, there still are movies that do, but it's just frustrating, you know, where one thing will develop and another thing will almost regress in a way. Also, this is really cool. The way that they do the Metal Gear sprite, this is really neat. Snake, I'm not the same as I used to be, and neither is Metal Gear. I'll show you what fear really is. Prepare to taste my feet. Bro's into kinky stuff. That would be another question for you guys. What's like your favorite retro movie? Because I think some of the best movies are probably 10 to 20 years old. Maybe that's not that retro, but I look at superhero movies even, and I see things like some of the original X-Men movies, some of the, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, obviously the Burton Batman movies, and you see the creativity and the style around these films, and it's almost night and day compared to some of the lack thereof in movies now. And even to the point where, whether you like it or not, when you see a movie like Thor Ragnarok, where it has a very unique cinematic style now, it's still very CGI, but it's, very like guitar riffs and kind of neon-y light and stuff like that. It stands out, Whereas in the past, just movies had their own identity. They didn't all look like they were made by the same group. And now I feel like a lot of movies, unless there's some big art house movie, they look like they were made by the same group of people. Like if you told me, hey, this director made this, it almost means nothing for a lot of films. Whereas in the past, it was like, oh, this is going to have this style to it. Also got the Human Torch here. The cartridge is mine, Snake, burn in hell! Why do you look bald? Snake, your items are on fire. Throw away all your weapons and equipment. Quickly, use the circle button. So then we have to go through here and dispose of absolutely everything. Did you guys watch, what was it? Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Because that was a movie to me, I know maybe superhero movies aren't the best, thing to use, because a lot of superhero movies are corporate. But that was a superhero movie where I felt like it actually had a really big identity. It looked like a Sam Raimi movie, and I was shocked that they let him make it look like that. They didn't limit his ability to do that. I thought that was really interesting. I think Spider-Man, I mean, I know it's Sam Raimi again, but those Spider-Man movies especially, they have this unique cinematography. Where am I? The perfect ring for our final battle. A plain room. It's been a while, Snake. Here we are, back in the minefield. What say we go at it, hand to hand? A chicken fight? The two greatest rivals in Foxhound. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Fox, I'll beat some sense back into you. Snake, it's time for you to learn why they call me Fox. It is because I am foxy. Gray Fox, real name Frank Yeager, former member of Foxhound. I have cracks in my face. I'm made of porcelain. He was the last man to hold the title of Fox in the Big Boss era, decorated 5 times. Yeah, I know all about how good he is, better than anyone else. I fought with him. He's a cold-blooded hunter. He never lets his prey escape. Everybody in the unit respected him, looked up to him. That may be, Snake, but do you know about his past? It might help you out. 10 years ago, we in the mercenary trade knew him as Hunter. That's what Jäger means in German. Would you like to learn German, Snake? My favorite leader was German. Back then, he was involved with some woman from the Eastern Bloc. He tried to get her to come over the fence, but it all fell through. Apparently, the West wasn't interested in taking her, and that's when Frank started to hate the politicos. What was the woman's name? She was an Olympic skater. Name was Gustava Hefner. Real fine woman, movie star type. Not made of porcelain like me. Gustava Hefner? Snake, if you manage to beat Fox, I'll tell everyone that Solid Snake is the greatest mercenary in the world. Just in case you needed your ego stroked. Over and out.
Hi, I'm here.
Hello.
How's it going? You don't have to pause it.
What, I can pause it.
No, I'm here.
Do you want me to just move your chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think Gustava's real father is Hugh Hefner?
I kind of hope so.
You
Do you
think
see
so?
the cats? They're like merged at the butt. Can you take a picture of them and show this?
Yeah, they love each other.
They're best friends in the whole world. Also, jokes aside, I really did like this fight. It's very simple with the tech, but I thought it was kind of fun to be running around in this minefield.
I thought it was dumb.
You did?
No, I was just joking.
Oh.
I'm just pulling your leg.
Oh, you're just pulling a Josh?
Doing a goof.
Josh and
Doing a
Ronnie.
gaff. Doing a gif.
I want you to know that you took so long in the bathroom that I did almost 20 minutes of this by myself.
Oh, good. Well,
And-
I just did the most diabolical
Oh,
poop
okay.
our septic system has ever seen.
I don't think we want to hear about it. It's like that thing from, what was it, from GTA? Punish your toilet.
I did that. I did that today.
I was
Poor
talking.
toilet.
I was talking about what. Well, I was asking people what their favorite retro game and movies are. You know,
Oh.
so things like PS1 and earlier, or even movies like the 90s, 80s, things like that.
I really like the original Tomb Raider series on PS whatever.
PS1.
Yeah. I always forget whether it's on PS1
You
or
want to read
2.
this?
Snake! Looks like it's finally time for me to give up the title of Fox.
Fox. Why?
I'm not like you, Snake. My situation is more complicated.
That's gonna be too quiet for the thing.
My situation's more complicated.
Okay.
Big Boss might have been just another CO to you, but he saved my life twice. This was way before I joined the unit.
You're a eunuch?
The first time I was a half-white living in Vietnam.
Did that change?
I don't know. It was after, whatever.
It was after the war and half-whites were being sent to camps.
Okay. He saved me from that living hell just because he saved all of the children here. Or just like he saved all the children here. The second time was in Mozambique. That's really DEI. I was being tortured as a Renamo soldier and he saved me again. They'd cut off my ears and my nose, and that's how I became a eunuch.
How did they give him his nose back?
I don't know.
And this is your idea of paying him back?
Maybe plastic surgery?
You noseless person?
You've got it all wrong. I hate war, just like all the kids here, but I need it. War is all we know. We can't make it in the normal world. We need the battlefield to survive.
Are you, like, losing your voice or something?
No, why?
Because you're so quiet.
I'm not trying to be quiet. It's just every time I
Big
get
Boss
louder,
gives
you
us
get
a
mad
place
at
to
me.
fight. Conflict is in our blood. We can't get away.
I was born on the battlefield and I'll die on the battlefield. All I can do is fight, Snake. All I can do is fight.
Why does your voice keep changing?
Every time I get louder, you keep going, like, with your hand movements. Making people happy, making a woman happy is something I could never do. Ugh.
Why do you keep rubbing on this chair? What is going on
my,
here?
like, thick cheeks keep rubbing on
You
it.
mean...
Guess I was always fated to die in action. Oh.
Rest easy, Fox. I swear I won't turn out like you. My voice won't keep changing every sentence.
Oh, okay. Won't turn out like me?
You mean half white?
I'll have to remember that, bitch.
Oh.
Fight hard, Snake. Don't let your fans down.
Oh, foreshadowing to him being your biggest fan.
Mm-hmm. True.
My fans? It was you, wasn't it? You were the voice on the radio.
What? No. It wasn't me.
What are you talking about?
Call it payback for being so selfish. See you on the other side, Snake.
You won't be alone, Frank. Gustava is waiting for you.
Gustava.
I got her ready for you.
Thank you, Snake.
Yeah. Got her all oiled up in 4K for you.
Isn't he the reason Gustava died, though? Like, didn't he blow up the bridge?
Well, now hold on. I think it was like Madnar did it, didn't he?
Well...
Madnar did it, but like Madnar was...
But Madnar asked Gray Fox to blow up the bridge.
Right, Madnar narked on them.
Yeah.
And then he helped betray them to blow up the bridge.
And did he not know Gustavo was there?
Over here, Snake.
Did he not know Gustavo was there?
I don't know.
Also, why does Big Boss sound like a Victorian century, like, crazy villain?
I mean, he should sound just like Snake. Do you want me to be both?
Yeah.
Big Boss, you're alive? Snake, welcome to Zanzibar land. I knew you'd come. Back to me.
Did he pick up an accent?
I came to get rid of the nightmares I've been having for the past 3 years. The nightmares, they never go away, Snake. Once you've been on the battlefield, tasted the exhilaration, the tension, it all. I forgot what I was saying. Becomes part of you. That's right, I'm old, sorry. Once you've awakened the warrior within, it never sleeps again. You crave ever bigger tensions, ever bigger thrills, ever bigger wiener.
Oh.
Sorry.
We already craved that.
As a mercenary, I'd think you would have realized that by now. You care nothing for power or money or even sex. I love sex. The only thing that satisfies your cravings is war.
True.
War sex.
What?
Sex during war. All I've done is give you a place for war sex. I've given you a reason to live. More war sex.
Yay, war sex.
Mm-hmm. I never would have made you for such a hypocrite, Big Boss. This is hurting my throat. You saw those children, didn't you? I love children. Everyone is a victim of a war somewhere in the world, and they'll make fine soldiers in the next...
If they're not a victim, does he
war.
make them a victim?
I don't know. Start a war, fan its flames, create victims, then save them, train them, and feed them back onto the battlefield. What's weird about this is Big Boss doesn't really act like this in any other game.
Yeah, why does he act like he's trying to, like...
It's a perfectly logical system. In this world of ours, conflict never ends, and neither does our purpose, our reason. Raisin?
Our raisins?
Oh, raison. D'état.
I don't even know what that means.
Reason to exist, I believe.
Oh.
So, there's plenty of job opportunities, is that what you're trying to say? On the battlefield, you and I are valuable commodities, but back home, we're nothing but dead weight. I'm calling you fat, Snake.
That's rude.
You've gained a few. If we're lucky, we might get the attention of some 2-bit journalist from a cheap tabloid. Okay. You and I are doomed to remain here until we die like dogs on the battlefield.
So is he acting like he's using all of these people when I thought he was, like, actually trying to be nice to them?
I've only got one fight left, to free myself from your grip, to rid myself of these nightmares. Big Boss, I will defeat you.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know, well, I'll tell you in a minute. It doesn't matter who wins here, our fight will continue, the loser will be liberated from the battlefield, and the winner will remain. and the survivor will live out the rest of his days as a soldier. It doesn't have to be that way. I am not like you. I love life.
I become a dog musher.
Very well, Snake. I'll release you from your suffering as your former commander. I'll do you one last favor and put you out of your misery. I don't need any more favors from you. You're old and I hate old people. Really? And just how do you expect to beat me in your condition with no weapon? Never give up. Fight till the end. Always believe you will succeed, even when the odds are against you. Those are your words. Even I make mistakes from time to time. Snake, this will be our final battle. Let's end this once and for all.
No.
If there's more talking for Big Boss, I need you to do it.
Okay.
It was killing my throat.
Sorry, boss. This part of the game was annoying. Like where we have to go in all of these specific rooms and try to find stuff to kill him while he's shooting us.
I know,
like,
while
it's
he's
not
shooting
fair.
you.
Why does he get to have a gun and try to kill us?
And he gets such a nice red hat.
Well, I just feel like he's not putting up a fair fight here. It's kind of rude. It's not honorable.
No, not exactly. I will gun you down like a dog while I have a weapon and you don't.
Yeah, isn't that kind of messed up?
So what's weird is, you know, I don't know, Big Boss is a complicated person. And I know he's older at this point, but I get the feeling that he really did believe in his mission and really did believe that he was helping people. You know, like he believed he was helping the kids that he saved, especially in MGS5. Which...
We haven't played
I
yet.
don't know. We haven't played yet on here.
No.
And
I've never played it in general.
And Peace Walker and all these games where, you know, you kind of round people up. Sounds bad. But you kind of round up soldiers and build your own little armies and stuff.
And make them victims.
Yes. No, I'd argue that every single Big Boss game, well, especially Peace Walker and 5, are largely about this. But even Metal Gear Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, which people argue the canonicity of parts of it. But even that game, parts of it are about Big Boss gathering people, you know?
Oh, really?
Like Snake, that, you know, because Big Boss was a snake.
But then here he acts like he doesn't care about them.
Here he's acting like he's gathering them just to feed them into the fodder of war.
Yeah.
Which I honestly think they kind of retconned this a little bit. Like, yeah, he says this, and he is like a pro-war guy, but I don't get the opinion from the rest of the Solid series that he was this douchebag who wanted to feed all these people into the meat grinder.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that he actually believed that, like, the outer heaven and stuff like that, that these ideas were, like, I'm gonna create a nation for soldiers where we can fight for our honor, because it's what we know, but also we can take contracts, be mercenaries, stuff like this, and fight for the highest bidder in a way. And we're still fighting for our honor, but we're earning a living. And we're not just going to be thrown out by the government above us.
Yeah.
Because his motivations largely come from seeing soldiers fight for their country and for a purpose, and then get thrown out by that country.
When they're no longer useful enough.
Yes. And so that's where a lot of his ideas come from. Like, on the surface level, you think his ideas might sound stupid. They're like a country of warriors designed to fight wars. What the hell is the point of this? But then you realize, oh, well, he's got a point. Like, all these people over the decades, I mean, how many people in the military or who were in the military can't even get, like, their veterans benefits? Also, during this, I think I was looking something up and I forgot to cut this.
Aren't a lot of, Yeah, it seemed like you forgot to cut a couple things here.
Sorry.
But yeah, a lot of veterans are actually homeless, aren't they?
Yes. You have to blow your nose.
No, I just was,
You can cut it.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, no, that's true. Like, a lot of veterans are homeless. They end up with mental health issues, which go untreated. And then that can lead to homelessness because then they don't have, you know, a very capable mind at that point. And it can't be treated, you know, or it could be treated, but no one wants to help them. And our government should be taking care of those people, you know? Like,
yeah.
Our government...
We should let them be Walmart greeters.
You're right. Well, even that, though, that's like a job that they could do, and that's great. Like, jokes aside, like, I know people, you know, joke about the, like, low-tier jobs or whatever, but there's nothing wrong with doing that job. You know, genuinely, there's not. Because that's an opportunity for those people. But my point is, like, they don't get an opportunity from the government. They don't get their benefits. They don't get a good retirement. Some of them do, especially officers will be more taken care of. But, like, the rank and file military guy who lost a leg in Vietnam, or who watched his friends get, like, gang beaten and assaulted in Iraq or some crap like that. How many of those guys came home and
weren't the same person,
did everything they were told, and then they were a liability, like an embarrassment. Like, oh, well, you know, we, like, almost like the political people are embarrassed of the war they had them fight.
Yeah.
And that person is a reminder of it. Like, they're a reminder of the failure. It almost feels like the people who survived Vietnam or Afghanistan or any of these things, they were a reminder of the U.S., like what the U.S. did in these places. And so the U.S. was like, well, we don't like that. We don't, that's
we want to
uncomfortable.
pretend we never did anything wrong.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
It's very interesting.
I don't know, it's just sad. So
I think it's funny we, like, burned this guy to death, by the way.
It is kind of funny. But in that way, when I was a kid, I didn't understand Big Boss.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, like, oh, this guy, like, how could the guy from MGS3 become this guy? That's kind of what I thought. But then as you get older, you kind of realize, oh, this really happens to a lot of people. It makes sense that there's this disgruntled military vet who wanted to create a nation for people like him. It's just this dialogue from him. I don't know if it's poorly translated or what, but it makes him seem like such an asshole.
It does make him seem like a big asshole. But I guess he's kind of justified in that, because it's kind of like, he's kind of like a Jango Fett in this universe, too. Where it's like they used him for all he had and then made a bunch of copies of him and was basically like, okay, now fuck you. We don't need you anymore.
Snake! I'm the Human Torch! Play Marvel Rivals! It's not over yet! It's not over yet! Supernova! It's not over yet!
I think it's over, bro. I think it's over.
I
So,
exploded.
Do you ever see him in the series, like, timeline after this, or is this just where he dies in the timeline?
It's complicated, but a big portion of Metal Gear Solid 1, remember, is about the Foxhound unit wants Big Boss's body because they want his genetic DNA, remember?
Yeah.
So that's where you kind of see him.
That's interesting.
Because they want his DNA because they want to stop what's going on to them. Like, I don't know if they know about the fact that they're aging quicker yet or not, but, like, these guys... Oh, Holly's here to save us.
It's okay, it's me, Snake!
Holly?
Did I scare you?
Whew. That was a close one. So, what's going on?
Why are they talking so slow?
What are you doing here? They're in slow-mo.
You said it yourself. Stay alive and we'll meet again sometime.
I'm gonna blow you off in just a minute.
Oh.
So I did. My throat.
Are you okay?
No, talking like this hurts.
Ugh, that uniform was too tight in the chest. I feel much better now.
Maybe lose the bra, too.
What the heck? Why'd they have to add that in just so we know she has big boobs? Here, I stole this gun from the enemy. You can have it.
Yeah, I love the male gaze. I can see how it'd be hard for a woman to use this gun. Thanks. I like the ... She's like, you're fucking
Why is he sexist in all of the games, by the way?
No, I still have one more job to do.
You can't be serious.
What's weird is he's not really sexist in MGS1.
Yes, he is.
I'm dead serious, Holly. He makes some jokes, but that's it.
Snake, no, you can't.
I farted. You want me to call you a cab?
What? No, is that supposed to be a joke?
I had a stroke.
Oh, my god, that wasn't funny, Snake.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. This is Snake. Come in, Charlie.
This is Charlie. Go ahead, Snake.
I've got the cartridge. I'm ready to return to base. Making my way to the rendezvous point now.
Roger that. I'll meet you there. Any passengers?
No, and they shoots her. Just one, blonde, cute face, nice ass.
Sounds like a dream. Over and out.
You want to pick?
Oh. Like which hole he gets?
Yeah. No, I meant like a picture.
Oh.
Holly, we've got to run as fast as we can to the rendezvous point. Think you can keep up? You know, because you're a woman?
Is that a proposition, Snake?
I think the dialogue was poorly translated at the end.
Yeah, it was.
I'll take that as a yes.
It was really badly translated, but she's really cute in, like, this pixel art.
Yeah, she's fun. She's a fun character. Again,
I wish she showed up again. Does she ever show up in any of the other games?
No.
No, I really like her. Why does she never show up?
There's a lot of Metal Gear characters that get thrown out.
Yeah, that they just don't remember existed.
I don't really understand it. It kind of reminds me of Akira Toriyama with Dragon Ball.
Also, I want to mention in those like files that you watch in Metal Gear Solid 1, especially in Twin Snakes that I was just editing, he literally says like, "Why is there a woman here?" to Naomi.
Well, okay, but I think it's because it wasn't as common at the time, not necessarily because he's sexist.
I think he's a little sexist.
Whereas I think the comment of, I can see why a gun would be hard for a woman to use is kind of sexist.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I
that's
understand.
a sexist comment, but...
But what about the part where he says, "I bet you're used to seeing guys naked, huh, Naomi? Just because she's a scientist?"
Well, didn't she make him take his clothes off?
Well, he was only in his underwear.
Yeah, I don't know.
He wasn't fully naked. He was just like making weird sex jokes to her. It was like a Donald Trump moment.
Okay. What the hell took you so long? We're going to be here till Christmas.
This is Charlie. I'm 10 kilometers from the rendezvous point. Hold tight a little bit longer. Over and out.
Hurry!
I expect Holly to be tight when I get there.
I don't think he means anything by it, though.
No,
Like,
I don't think he does, but I do think, like, he's a product of his sexist time.
Oh, yeah, he's a product of his time, sure, but so is James Bond.
No.
You're right.
James Bond is very respectful to women with his penis.
He respects them by making them orgasm.
Yeah, Snake doesn't do enough of that, so then therefore he's disrespectful.
I mean, I think that after MGS1, he's a lot more respectful, though. Like, if you watch his, like, I think his time... Actually, I don't want to get too much into it, but Meryl's in that game a lot. Damn, I'm out of ammo.
Snake!
I think that his time spent with people in MGS1 and throughout the series changes him.
Yeah.
You know? But
I also think they toned it down a little bit on some of the, like, product of his time stuff, where... Because it kind of seemed like that was a time where... It's a chopper, we're saved!
well, wasn't he from the Cold War, kind of? That era was when they were creating them, the 70s or whatever?
Yeah, but it also felt like that was a time in real life where, like, Japan started to become a little less sexist, too, and this was made by a Japanese guy who lived his whole life in Japan.
That's true. Think we'll be home in time for Christmas?
We'll be home in time for dinner, Snake.
Let's go then. I'm looking forward to Christmas dinner. I'm sick of these rations.
It's literally March, Snake.
Yeah, is it close to Christmas?
No,
I don't remember.
know. I don't think
In
it
this?
is. I think they just randomly decided it's gonna be Christmas.
They started
now.
bringing Christmas up at the very end of the game.
It was weird. I don't know. Some of the ending of the game was not very well written. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, parts of the ending, but parts of it were. I love the fight with, Gray Fox.
Yeah, that was cool.
And
I thought the fight with Big Boss was decent.
It's cool and good in terms of its dialogue and the story, but it was frustrating as a fight.
Yeah.
Because you actually kind of have to do a very specific thing. There's not really a lot of creativity or freedom in that fight.
No,
at all.
that was kind of lame in that respect. Oh, I like the ending of the movie in a sunset. Very movie-like.
Well, can't you see how inspired these were by movies? even
Oh yeah,
back
for
then?
sure. Especially the beginning of Twin Snakes. Like, those cutscenes are very movie.
I saw a thing from him that he said that he was in a very dark spot, and when he worked with Guillermo del Toro, he had said that he had always wanted to make movies and not games, and that del Toro basically told him, well, you already are. What do you mean? And, I think Hideo Kojima didn't really value... Like, he cared about this stuff, but I don't think he really valued it on the level of cinema. Until he met with a cinematic legend who was impressed with what he did.
Yeah.
Because Guillermo del Toro is like a legend in cinema.
And now video games are a lot like movies, it's like interactive movies. Mm-hmm. Especially with how realistic the graphics have become in recent years.
Which in some ways is bad, because I think sometimes then you get studios who fall off at times because they're chasing being a movie making studio and not a game.
Yeah.
So like I feel that way about Naughty Dog. Mm-hmm. I think the peak of them trying to be a movie studio was The Last of Us 1, where it was still a game, but it was so entrenched in this story. Whereas like The Uncharted games are great, but I didn't really feel like they found their footing until around 3 for being really good stories to me. I felt like 1 was a good story, 2 was a fun story. I don't like it as much as a lot of people do. And then 3, 3 and other stuff like that, and then The Last of Us, those are great stories. But I felt like they lost the game element. They lost the game element of things like Jak and Daxter and Crash. And I feel like a lot of... I think Hideo Kojima was able to, other than MGS4, which is very focused on its story because it was trying to wrap everything up, I still love it, I don't feel like he ever lost the game portion much. And even there, the game portion's still really good. It's just it's interrupted so often by movie portions that you kind of... It's literally almost half and half. It's like 60% of the game is a game. Only.
And then 40% of it is sitting there and watching cutscenes.
And listening to codec calls and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of where I feel like you're getting a little much. But I think that he did a good job of having both of those worlds. And I think nowadays when you see these companies chase after being a movie thing, instead of a game thing, like they want to use the game to tell a story and they don't care about the game. And that's where I think it can become a problem instead of just being inspired by this kind of cinema.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like that about Kojima. I like that he always still made a game. There was always still a reasoning behind decisions like, well, we have to have this deeper mechanic, or this character, should show up here and do this to tie back into the story, but then this should be a playable section, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I completely agree. That's something I like about things like Fallout, where it's very much still a game, but then you can kind of make your own choices. Like, it's kind of like a movie, but that you get to control.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I think that when you get to, like, The Last of Us Part 2, or even the way that they're treating Intergalactic, I'll say in a second. Good work, Snake. Have you thought about coming back to the unit? The nightmares have stopped. I'm a free man now. I see. That's too bad. By the way, about that cartridge, is it really the one Dr. Marv hid his plans in?
Why don't we open it and find out?
No need for that. The cartridge I brought back is Dr. Marv's. No question about it. Just put it in the MSX. All right, here goes.
Huh? Nothing's happening.
What on earth? Of course, Snake was right. There's no doubt about it. This is Dr. Marv's cartridge.
What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
Exactly, he was blind! Oh, wait. Here, look closer. Dr. Marv left his signature on it. It says Keo Marv.
It's written backwards.
This is going to do the world a lot of good. Vram Oik. Dr. Marv's last performance.
He really loved games, didn't he? From the bottom of his heart.
Dr. Marv was entangled in a pointless political game, and it cost him his life.
But the game he left behind will save us all, right, Snake? Snake, where'd he go, Colonel?
Snake? Oh. Where's he gone off to now?
Snake! Snake, he promised to take me out to dinner. How low can you get? And then he never sees her again. Look, there's a little guy who needed hugs and kisses in the middle of this.
He's got a fat tummy.
Look how cute he is. He's so cute. Little mans.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the style of these games. I even like these original ones, but I think that the other game in this style you will like more, which is Ghost Babel, but it's not a game we're going to play anytime soon.
Oh, good.
We're going to play like the solid ones and stuff like that, but there's plenty of spin-offs. I want to
move on to a different series playing together. I don't want to play any more of this for a hot second.
Metal Gear.
Yeah. Like, I'd like to take a month or two off, play something else.
Yeah, but you're okay with Nate and I, playing through Twin States.
Yes. I don't want to be playing it together.
Right, that makes sense.
I want to do things like GTA Online and stuff. Like, I want to do something different.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that this was rough. I didn't
like the game, like, at all.
I know you didn't, and something I talked about was I found it to be an objectively well-made game that is impressive, but one that I did not have fun playing.
Yeah, and I didn't have fun watching it.
No.
I hope people who watched us play it enjoyed it because I cut out all of the frustrating bits.
Mm-hmm. Well, something else I said, too, real quick, was that I found it was more frustrating because we were playing Kingdom Hearts ReChain of Memories at the time.
Yeah,
So it was like
I guess
two
I was at the
games
end of my rope for games that I didn't
you weren't
like.
enjoying.
Yeah, I was like really getting frustrated with the Let's Play channel in general there, I gotta be honest with you.
But we're out of that era.
Oh, good.
We're out of the era of games that we didn't really have fun with.
We're in a better era now.
Mm-hmm.
We're in an era where Jill can actually be happy.
Well, I think you could be happy even with games that aren't that fun if you just take them a piece at a time and know that you're making someone happy.
No.
Okay. Because some of the people who watch this channel love this game. Like, I got some
They're
comments.
wrong.
You're right. I got some comments from people, though, who said that they really love this game.
Were they from Nicholas McMath?
No.
What?
They were from people who actually played the game, like, on their own themselves when they were younger.
What about Nicholas?
Well, Nicholas is always nice, too. He'll always leave the obligatory congratulations on finishing the game. I enjoyed the Let's Play comment.
Good. That's right. They better have.
Hey, thank you to our members. Let's show our members right here. Big thank you, Jill.
And we should have an honorary member, Nicholas McMath. You know, that person may not spend a ton of money on our channel, but they certainly spend a lot of time here.
Well, I think time is money.
That's true. Time is money.
Do you have anything else, Jill, before the end? Because, yeah, it's like, I thought it was objectively a well-made game. I'm impressed with what they did, the tech they had, you know, to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't replay this game for fun. I will say this. There is a platinum trophy for Metal Gear 1 and 2 to do some stuff, and I wouldn't mind chipping away at it over time.
And you can do that all by yourself.
You told me you'd help me. Yeah,
What?
you did.
When did I say that?
A while ago.
I don't remember, so therefore it's not a binding promise.
Anyway, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good. I was just making jokes and such and things and...
Do you guys want to hear the solid oak of Jill's tummy and what it sounds
No,
like?
don't! Stop it! That's my tummy!
Man, that was some crazy solid oak. They don't
Let's
both
hear,
look like that
let's
anymore.
hear yours!
Ow! You're hitting it so hard! Why'd you hit me so hard? There's not nearly the same reverberation. Listen to this, guys. See?
My poor tummy!